here.
Yeah, I'll just sit there.
And you guys got me nervous when I shit.
Yeah, they like, let's go. All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode. We got a special guest on the show. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Motilalsingh, and I'm the owner here at HSAHOOPS. Gonna be known as Seminole Hoops LLC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, hey, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe to his channel.
Hamza Robinson on YouTube.
Yeah, they know you. You looking nervous.
I gotta listen up once we start talking about it.
We're just gonna hop right into it, all right? You ready? all right. So I kind of want to know, like, your background, like what got you into like the basketball training realm and everything like that?
Yeah, so I've always been hooping my entire life. Starting off in my basketball career, my dad started me off playing basketball. Played shit since I was like probably 4. I don't want to say, but I didn't. But then there was like a transition period. We always talking about this where like I didn't play basketball for like a year or two. I think it was probably like a year. I got into like really big skateboarding. I was a skater. Yeah, my next door neighbor used to skateboard, and he got me into it. I used to go to like skate parks. I was heavy into it, but I sucked. Like I was bad. Like I couldn't do anything but like I couldn't even ollie. You know what ollie is? I couldn't do none of that. Yeah, I would just go down ramps, and I used to think that was so cool. And then like I transitioned out of that because I was scared to get hurt. I saw watch people get hurt and stuff. Like that. And then I started really taking basketball a lot more serious. I'd say probably around like middle school. I started training a lot, really heavily. And then I just fell in love with training. Like for me, I used to just love working out, like training, getting reps up. I was always a gym rat like my entire life. Like as much as I could be in the gym as possible, I would be in there. Like no matter what it was, like I'd just be chilling in there, like be shooting around, dribbling, no matter what it would be. I would just love doing that. And then I'd say when high school went around, like I was always playing AAU, all that stuff, high school, varsity and things like that. And then I started really thinking about it when I was probably, I would say, I remember one time I joked around and I think it was probably around my high school, I think I'd say probably like my junior year, like shoot, I could do coaching after. Like I would think I'd want to do training, because I just loved training. Like it was so much fun to me. And I thought like, hey, like damn, that could be cool. And then after my senior year, I went to play college. I played college basketball in California, and then I got hurt. Wow. Yeah, I got hurt, right?
What school?
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it was in Santa Cruz, but it's called Cabrillo College. Yeah, that's where I was going to school at. But yeah, then I got hurt after my freshman year, and I couldn't walk or anything. And I've always been around basketball, right? Doing a little bit of coaching here and there, and then with some of the guys I was with at the time, opportunity came up for me to go overseas and run their branch out there, and I decided to run with it. I was like, well, shoot, I always said I was gonna maybe eventually try it or do it. You know what I mean?
How was that experience? Like, can you talk about that a little more?
Living overseas, it was. It would have been 10 times harder if I didn't move from Florida to Cali.
Okay.
Yeah, like obviously, like living in America, right? I think sometimes we forget like there's so much more out there. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I think like living in America, like when you think about like for me. Going to Cali was like, whoa. Like everyone's like, damn, bro, like you're going all the way out there. Yeah. Like, but really it's only like a 5-hour flight. Yeah. So, but like in the time zone difference is pretty big. Well, we think it's pretty big. But then when you look at it as like going overseas, like that was a whole nother. That's a 9-hour difference. It's 9,000 miles away from home. That's like a 16-hour plane ride. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's totally different. But I will say, like me being in California. Being able to gain that experience of living away from home, not being homesick, and just being able to focus on myself was huge, And then when I got the opportunity, I just ran with it. I was like, shoot, let me go try it out. Let's see. Worst thing that happened, I'll come back home and I'll just continue to do what I'm doing. Yeah. And I would say if I wasn't around basketball as much as I was, training, coaching, and just learning a lot of different stuff, that also me being a professional going out there would have been a lot more harder. I was able to adapt pretty quickly with that, and I just fell in love with it, man. I fell in love with the people out there. The culture was amazing, and people just were so welcoming that it just made everything easy. And plus, like, I live by a beach, so like beaches were something that I used to love. And like being in Florida, we think our beaches are nice, but like beaches out there were different.
Yeah, I always wanted to go to Cali. We was trying to go to Cali. We never been before. But
no, I'm not talking about Cali beaches, bro. I'm talking about Middle East beaches.
Oh,
yeah. Like that's like it looks like the Caribbean, bro.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. Cali beaches are cold though. People don't know that. We forget like this Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was excited as well, and then like I put my foot in the water. I was like, yo, I'm never going in that water, dog. It's freezing, man. But living overseas was cool, man. I loved it. I would say I was a little bit spoiled out there because like it's a whole different lifestyle. But it did teach me a lot as far as like living away completely, like from home now. Now
I got. Oh, go ahead.
How was that experience different from living in the United States? Like living in Dubai compared to
so like it was more of like how can I say it? You start to learn more about the world and about people, and like when you're living like in America, I think a lot of times a lot of people think of like that side of the world as like terrorists or like it's super unsafe, and you know I've always had all those concerns myself as well. Like before I went there, I had all those concerns, but like once you get there, you're like, damn, you're like, whoa, like they don't talk about this. Like why they don't talk about this? In America, they don't. In America, they don't. Like you know, in America, we're portrayed as like the world's best, which I believe, you know, but there's a lot more out there where it's like, damn, like okay, we're not the only ones here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just the lifestyle was amazing. The country was just, I think what I really fell in love with that the country was so peaceful. Like, and that was great for me at the time to be able to like just say, hey, like I'm going back over there and I'm in a peaceful country and I'm just being able to focus on myself and just grind. You know, just grind and make the most out of it.
Where'd you get that type of like? Did you always have that type of grinding mentality, or did that take you like a while?
I think that came from sports.
Okay.
It came from sports, and I definitely say it came from my dad as well. Watching my pops grind, like he's a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Watching him do what he did for us at a young age, and starting out in his garage, now owning his own shop. Like it's pretty dope to watch. But then like I think that motivated me a little bit more was hearing my grandma's story as well. You know, so like half my family are immigrants. You know, they're from Trinidad. So like, you know, hearing
you're Trinidadian?
Yeah, I'm Trinidadian, Puerto Rican. Yeah, so like hearing that story too, like my grandma came to this country as like a nanny. You know what I mean? By herself. She was here for like 2 years by herself. And then their family migrated, you know, a few years later, and then they wanted to just grinding, bro. Like just grinding. And like when I heard that, I was like, damn. And then like living overseas, like so there's a lot of like, especially like in the Middle East, there's a lot of people that have nannies and all that stuff. And then like when I used to see that, and I used to be like, obviously my grandma didn't do exactly like what they were doing. But, it was just still like, damn, like they're taking the same path. You know what I mean? Like to grind their way up. And it's humbling. It's humbling when I heard about that, and I was like, damn. And she's never said a word about that, which is crazy. I found that out like, I would say like a year after I was living overseas, and I was like, damn. I was like, what? No one ever told me this. Like no one ever told me this, and they all did. And I was like, damn, I've never known this. You know what I mean? But
no, I like that a lot.
That motivated me a lot more differently. I would say,
Cause I noticed the difference. Like even when I go, cause I just came from Hawaii. And it's completely different over there. Well, actually, the best comparison would be Haiti. I went to Haiti back in 2016. Compared to America, it's night and day. Like the people are so much more grateful over there. It's just like
100%.
It's a crazy difference, and you come back like appreciating everything that you got. But I want to ask you, like, because obviously you grew up in that type of environment where just grind, humble, you know, work hard. So like, how would you pass that down to somebody else that may have grew up in America with the spoiled type of mentality? How would you try to get them to develop your type of mentality? Just go after it, hustle. I'm a big believer in like it's not for everybody. Like, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like not everyone wants to wake up and grind, which is fine. But I do believe in people not making excuses. Like if you're not willing to do that, don't complain about where you are in life. Facts.
Like and if you are gonna choose that, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I have nothing wrong with that. Like it's all about me. It's all about being happy. Like do what you want to do, bro. Like I don't care. Like just be happy, be cool, be a good person. Like if you can do that, like you'll always find ways to do something, whatever it is. Like you know, if you're trying to make a lot of money, if you're trying to be successful, whatever it is, just stay your path. But take that with a grain of salt, because don't be trying to take a regular path and then say, damn, I want to be a multi-billionaire, or like, but you're living a regular lifestyle, you're doing the same thing everyone else is doing. Like I just had we had a scrimmage with my 8th grade team on Saturday, and I went off on them like after. Like I kind of like set them up for failure.
So let me ask you a question. Was you that type of person that took a lot of risk?
A
lot of risk, or was you just the play it safe type of guy?
I took a lot of risks. I took some big risks, man. Like I mean, this was a huge risk. This was the biggest risk I've ever taken. But any opportunity that came up, I'm a firm believer. Like if it presents itself and that's something you spoke about and wanted to do, take it. Like And I've done that every single time in my life. So, like, I've always said I want to go to Cali. Like, I used to always talk about it. Like, yeah, I want to go hoop in Cali, I want to go hoop in Cali, I want to go hoop in Cali. And then one of my boys who currently works with me now, he posted that he was going there. And at the time, I was hitting a bunch of schools up. They were hitting me back. And I didn't really want to stay locally around here. I didn't think the schools were that good. And I kind of wanted to get out a little bit, try something new. And then when I hit that coach up, he hit me back. And he was, and I had no idea. We were laughing about this the other day because I had no idea he was in California. He, like, I called and I was speaking with him. Well, he called me and he was speaking with me. He's like, yeah, man, I love you, blah, I love the film, blah, Malcolm and this and that. And then he was like, you know where we're at, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, we're in California, Sarah. I was like, what? I was like, damn. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Yeah. And then so, like, when that opportunity presented itself, I was like, yo, that was a no-brainer for me. Like, there was, at the time, there was 2 guys from Florida that already committed there. So I was like, well, shoot, at least I'll know someone. I'll be able to connect with somebody and talk with someone, come from the same area. So that was easy for me. And then, like, overseas opportunity came. You know what I mean? I spoke about doing something like that, ran with that. Being able to have my own gym. I never, to be honest with you, like, this idea was really brought to me so recently. Like, I've always wanted it. I've always thought about it, right? Like, had my own gym. And then I would say probably about, like, a year ago, like, I was, I really started to get a little bit more, like, into it. Like, yo, damn, what if I have my own gym? What if I do this? What if I do that? And then COVID hit, and I was like, shit. This might be time, And then it was just an idea at the time, and then this was available, and then got together with some of my business partners, and we were like, shoot, let's go. It's time.
So you just got this done this year?
Yeah, well, we finalized, like, what, I'd say in 2020 in November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I started in January. Well, there were talks about it around, like, August time. Those are just talks, conversations. Yeah. That was just, let's see what happens.
Now, let me ask you a question. How do you manage, like, the business aspect of your life? Let's say, I know you have a girlfriend. How would you manage, like, having a business and still making time for her and being that good role model, good boyfriend? Yeah. But still not, like, push her to the side. Yeah. But still show that, you're affectionate.
Yeah, it's tough. It is hard, but... it's all about communication and relationship, I believe. Okay. Like, and she's seen what I did overseas. Like, she's seen what what I started with over there and grew it to what it was, before I left. So she knows what it takes, and she knows I'm super passionate in this. Like, she knows I'm here a lot of hours. But she's also doing her own thing as well. And we built a lot of trust in our relationship over the years of living over there by yourself with no family, no nothing, like just you two. You're gonna build that. You know what I'm saying? You will build that for sure. So, like, and she knows what I'm trying to do in my life. And
so did you guys do, like, long distance? Like, what is, like,
in college we did. Yeah, college we did. So I've always known her. I met her when I was a junior in high school. Okay. Yeah. So when I went to college, that was hard. That was very hard. Yeah.
How did you get through that? Like,
that was hard, bro. Yeah, it was just a lot of communication, talking, FaceTiming. That was hard. That was very hard. That was the hardest part of our relationship, I'd say. And then I'd say when we moved overseas, like, we both went together. Cause I was like, yo, I'm not going unless you come with me. Like, cause I already knew what that was like, and that was hard. Like, just trying to stay focused and calling different time zones, and it gets a lot. It becomes a lot. So her coming out there with me was definitely a huge plus, and that made me stay on course a lot more easier. Because I'd say if I wanted to live by myself, it would have been a lot harder.
If you would have done it by yourself?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. But could I have done it? Yes. Yeah. But starting off, like, in my mind, I was like, hell no. I'm gonna be honest.
So do you believe in long distance or? Just for the people that want to do long distance, like, do you believe it in, like, what advice would you give them?
A long distance relationship.
Like, what would be, like, the key point you'd be like, other than communication that you said? But, like,
so, like, I don't know, it's hard. So, like, my grandparents, they live apart. Like, one lives in New York and one lives in Florida. Like, but he's flying back. But he just loves his job. He's, like, retired. So, like, they've been doing it for a long time. But that's different. Like, they've been married for how many years? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they've had kids. They've been together. So, that might be a little different. But I think, like, when you're young, in your relationship, those super long-term, like long distance relationships are tough. They can be very tough. So I don't really think I have, like, super nailed to the point advice where it's like, this is what you should do.
Yeah, just your opinion.
Yo, my opinion, like, I don't know, it's tough. It's very tough. Would I advise it at a young age?
Yeah.
It depends what the relationship is. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best way to, like, answer that. Like, have you been just with a year with each other? And then it's like, yo, I want to go here, and then she's like, no, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
So you would break it
Then
off.
it's like, I think you should break it off.
Yeah.
Just hey, you gotta go try it. Go live. Go like, and nothing's wrong with that. Like you know, because there's gonna be times where you're just like, yo, I don't want to do that, and she's gonna say, yeah, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be like that. But I've been lucky that hasn't happened to me yet. So and then now we're back home, so it kind of made things a little bit easier. But we're both kind of like, I would say, like, you know, we're both kind of we're both pretty driven. Yeah, we're both pretty driven in what we want to do, and she started to understand my vision of what I wanted to create. You know, and then now she's doing her own thing as well, man. So it's good. But long distance relationships are tough. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't advise it.
I wouldn't advise it. Yeah, because that'd be it gets tough. You know what I'm saying? It gets tough. And it winds up being not worth it because, you know, wasting all that, not wasting time, but FaceTiming and checking up and trust issues and blah, blah, blah. Like,
and that is a real thing. That's why I asked that.
Yeah, it messes up your head, man. Because especially when you're trying to, like, especially like okay, for instance, if I went overseas and I wanted to focus on myself and building myself up because we're young, like you gotta start. You know what I'm saying? You want to start young doing that. And then having to worry about, you know, what's going on in your relationship like 9,000 miles back home, that's tough, bro. You know, you're not going to stay as focused as you want to be.
And you know, I like the point that you brought up about you being stronger with her than without her. Like, of course you could have done it by yourself, but you felt like you were stronger with her. She made you better.
So she brought value to you.
Of course.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of men in this generation, even including myself, like are afraid of a relationship because, you know, there are pros and cons to relationships, but I feel like when you get into one and you don't have the right mindset, it could take you the wrong way.
Of course.
So I guess what I'm trying to ask is how would you get somebody out of that type of mindset? Like, yeah, I'm better by myself, instead of like, oh, being in a relationship is like bad, don't do it. Because there's like people out here that advise not to be in a relationship, like ever just stay away from it because it's gonna drain you. Yeah. So how do you like, I guess, find that balance?
I think it's just about who you meet, man. Who you meet. And what are your goals?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if your goal is to, you know, I don't know, just be single, live a bachelor life, and just have fun and party, then hey, do your thing, bro. That's what makes you happy, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if your goal is to, let's say I'm trying to create something big, I'm trying to create a foundation for my family, you know what I mean? A whole generation worth type of foundation. You'll get sidetracked a lot, bro. Trying to jump around and do that. I'm like, you know, me and my girl, we don't argue like that. You know, I think like even when we first started off, we didn't argue for a very long time. So I think like that was, to me, was a sign like I get along with her easily. Like, you know, there's no really bumping heads about stuff. We're pretty level-headed.
Cooperation.
Dog. Like that's what a lot of people are like. Damn, bro, you been with your girl for that long? Yeah, bro, but she's not weird. I don't be arguing with her. We don't like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, we have our little arguments like everyone does. I'm not saying we have a perfect relationship. What I'm saying is that it's not like some people where, it's not like some people where you're arguing every single, like I know there's some toxic relationships like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, bro, that is not for me. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. That is not for me. And those are signs for me personally.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, I want to ask you too, what value, like besides cooperation, what value does she bring you that actually made you like, okay, she made the list, like she made it on my team?
That's a tough question.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. Shoot, I don't think you can get one. She said.
No, not one. Just like some of the values that she brought you. That was like, she's the one.
She's very mature. She's not. I would say she wasn't stupid as some other girls. That also.
What do you
no offense, but I'm saying. Like girls do some crazy stuff, bro. You know what I mean? Partying, going wild, doing all a bunch of different stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of girls that be out there. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I really liked. And she's very smart, actually. She had really good grades at the time. She likes to blame me that her grades went down. I'm like, I never did it. Like, what did I do? What else? This is tough, man. Damn.
Yeah.
We're going to make this spot.
I think just definitely her. Just always pushing me to do the right thing was something that was huge for me. You know, she's always a firm believer in pushing me to do the right thing. I wouldn't say she motivates me definitely 100%. She motivates me. But when I first met her, definitely pushing me to always do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Was huge. And for her to come in my life and kind of like, she was a distraction, but in a good way.
Okay.
She distracted me away from like doing a lot of dumb stuff that I could have probably been getting into that I was. And it kind of led me away from that because I felt a little grounded. You know, I'm a firm believer in like, you know, if I want to concentrate and focus on doing a lot of other stuff, you gotta be grounded, dog. You can't be going crazy. Like I can't be running loose, running wild, and then trying to go straight. But in life, I'm running like this. But my goal is to run straight. You're never gonna go straight. You're always gonna be going side to side.
Sir, if you're an athlete, athlete trying to go overseas, would you advise getting into a relationship if you're trying to go overseas, or would you advise just focusing on the goal of trying to be better? Or do you think you could do both in college? Let's say
having a relationship and trying to be like an athlete.
Yeah, trying to be like the best. You know what I'm saying? Like go to the next level.
It just depends on like I like to not take it that deep. You know, like at the end of the day, I think like my college coach, he always told me like I've had coaches like don't be in a relationship, right? Don't do this, don't say shit like that. And then I have my college coach like, yo, what do you mean, bro? Like you're gonna be lonely for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be like you don't want a family? Like you don't want to be doing these things? Like you taught me respect. Like be very respectful. Like you know if you're with a woman, be very respectful. Like but like what I'm trying to say is some coaches will say like, hey, don't be on course with a girl, but I just believe it's how you manage it. Like, how do you personally feel when you're in a relationship? Do you really feel like she's a distraction? Is she a distraction? Like, literally, like, hey, let's hang out. Don't go to the gym. That's a problem. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And I've never had that situation. Even though I'm sure she probably feels like, damn, like every girl will. I think every person will. Like, damn, bro, hang out with me. You know, once in a while, but then like you'll remember in the back of your head, like, he's trying to do something bigger. You know what I'm saying? This one night not hanging out with me. For him focusing on building something that's going to be huge for the rest of our lives is more valuable than that one night, in my opinion. I think.
Delayed gratification.
Yeah, it's just about where do you feel like you are mentally and maturity. Like, can you handle being in a relationship and doing that?
It takes work.
I think that's something you would have to feel out yourself. I don't think that's really like an answer. But I don't believe in people like saying like don't be in a relationship or something like that. Even though it will be a little distracting, but the earlier you can handle distractions, the better you will be in life when you get older.
No, I agree with that.
You're gonna have 1,000 distractions when you get older.
Like
we're in this podcast right now, we're having a distraction with these damn lights. Like you know what I'm saying? Like there's always distractions. Like so yeah, man. I think that's my answer.
This is the last question, and we can wrap it up here because we could go on for hours.
I want to go into the business aspect.
That's what I'm about to ask right now. So like, well, you got a question?
No, go ahead.
So like. We knew that you love basketball. That's why you wanted to become a trainer and a coach, and like eventually branch off and become something bigger. But like, what's the process like? Because I personally like stuff like I do training myself. And I do want to open up a gym and stuff like that. So, what would you say to somebody that's trying to do that? Like, what's the process like? The ins and outs of the business and all that stuff.
Ins and outs of the businesses. So like, I think ins and outs of the business. That's kind of. What do you mean exactly by that? Like define ins and outs of
like just the process.
The process of doing it. So I think for me, my process was sped up a lot quicker because this is a key turnover business. This was already here. It's already established for 12 years. So that was just already established. So all I had to do was bring in our ideas and our professionalism, how we manage things, and what we want to change. But definitely, if you're trying to do something this big, especially at a young age, it's all about who you know. You know what I'm saying? Building connections.
You're 24, right?
24, yeah. 24. So like, if you're trying to do something big in general, like, don't be afraid to bring people in with you. I think a lot of times people see these big companies and they're like, oh, they do it all by themselves. It's impossible. Don't care what anyone tells you. It's impossible. The richest man in the world right now doesn't do it by himself. He has a team. Everyone has a team. You know, more minds the better. I'm a firm believer in that too. And like, you gotta, like, a lot of times people always like, yeah, I'm gonna do it all by myself, blah, blah. If I said I'm gonna do it by myself, which I could have, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do it now.
Like maintain it, you mean?
No, like start it.
Start it, okay.
Yeah, like it's not, like, I mean, I don't know too many 24-year-olds that just got pools of cash that just be like, yeah, I'm gonna jump up and do it. And then on top of that, you gotta understand too, like, what comes with experience with it. When you're fresh in it, like I'm not that fresh in it, but I mean, there's so many, like my business partners have way more knowledge and experience that they're just filtering down to me, and then I'm learning. So by the time I'm like shit 30.
So you're like a sponge. You just.
Oh, I've always been a sponge. Yeah, that's one of my biggest things. I'm always a sponge. Like people always ask me like, what do you think is like the quickest thing or like the best thing or best trait about yourself? I'm a sponge. I'm always learning from people. Like but yeah, like the business aspect of it, like there's so many different stuff that go on a daily basis. Like you guys saw. Like it could be like I'm doing a regular personal training. Boom, my lights go out. What the heck? Like things happen. So like a lot of people just see like for you, for instance, like for you just see our open gyms.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do. Like we have a lot of guys in open gyms, but it's like those guys only think like this is our main thing. When it's like there's so many moving parts. You know what I'm saying? Like so many moving parts that go on a day to day. Which as I've only been doing it for 4 months here. That once we continue to keep going, it's going to move a little more easier. But there's always, when we have a facility, man, there's always going to be problems.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be little things you got to pick up, clean, fix.
So would you say you have like a growth mindset? Like, how did you always have that mindset? Like, I can, there's always a brighter day at the end of the tunnel, or was it like more like? Because there's some people that like shit happened with the lights and then it shut down. Oh,
nah. You got to be tough minded with that type of stuff. Like it's just part of it. And then don't lose hair over it. Like don't go crazy because at the end of the day, like that was a customer and then I saw that like she knows I have no control of the lights and stuff. Like, and some people beat themselves up like, oh, I want to be super. Like I want to be super very professional. Yeah. But I've learned that people are people. They're gonna understand you. Your clients are gonna understand like things happen. Like AC would turn off, light mess up, something happens there's a leak there. Like it's just part of it. Like it's gonna happen. And there's nothing you can really do to prevent it. As much as you want, these things are gonna happen. But yeah, like I've always been like that because I think like going back to like even like being in high school, when things have happened where I've been like, damn, this is tough, and then boom, I grinded through it, I've always stayed positive through it, and even like when college happened, couldn't walk, had surgery, couldn't play, like I was like, damn,
what happened again?
I had a little tear in my hip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How did that happen?
I drove on the floor for a loose ball.
Hustling too hard,
man. I still love doing that. And now you will never catch me. I told my players to do it, but I'll never. If I play out there, I'm not diving on the damn floor because that's just scary for me. There's no point for me to do it anyways. But yeah, man, like you gotta be willing to risk your body in the game. You know how it is. You gotta be willing to sacrifice your body. But like stuff like that happened, and I was out for a long time. Went through like a little depression with that. Like I was like, damn. But I've always stayed positive. Stay positive through your mindset, like mindset wise, and something else pops up. COVID hit.
Positive, yeah.
It's back home for the longest time in my life. My dad's house. I was like, damn, what's going on? You know what I mean? For like months, almost damn near a year. And boom, this popped up. So always gotta just stay positive through things. Just know, like you said, light at the end of the tunnel.
How did you learn how to manage money and finance? How did you learn how to? Because a lot of people don't know how to manage money. So how did you learn how to manage money within your business and within your personal life?
And to add on to that, what was like the startup cost? How did you get to that money and all that stuff? If you could just like expand on that.
So managing your finances is huge. Earlier you start, the better. I would say I learned that from my dad a lot, watching him, save up and do the things that he was able to do at a young age, motivated me a lot. I was like, damn, bro, I don't even going out here buying all this crazy stuff. Like, I could just be stacking, man, ready to make a move. And just knowing what your goal is. But then also understanding finances, like what's a good amount to save, what's not a good amount to save. Like you want to make sure there's a percentage in whatever you get paid monthly that's automatically going into an account where you don't touch it. I started getting way more deeper into financing when I met one of my really close friends out over there. He's from Texas as well, and I met him out there. And he got me into investing into stocks and stuff like that. I've always wanted to do it, but he broke it all down for me and just showed me exactly how to do it. And that changed my whole course on like finances and how to do it and what you should be doing, especially at your age, your position in life and things like that. But yeah, like it's always different type of ways to do it, but the best thing to do is just being disciplined. You gotta teach yourself discipline, like discipline every single month. Whether it could be like the smallest amount, but you'll build discipline over time. Like maybe it's like, yo, I'm gonna save $25 a month, right?
Compound effect. Yeah.
I'm gonna save $25 a month. Did it for a few months. Shoot, now I can save $100 a month. That was easy. Now 5. Now that. Like you just keep doing that over and over and over, and you just build that discipline where you're not even thinking about it. But also understand what's your goal and what do you want to do with your money. Like, you know what I mean? I don't really value money money is a very powerful thing.
It is.
Right? It's probably one of the most powerful things in the world. But I also don't, like, I'm not the type to be thinking about it every day, where it's like, I want money.
Yeah.
So every time I see money, I never really think of it as like, I'm gonna go buy me I'm gonna go buy me, like, I never think of it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to always think of it as like, I'm gonna build something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you have more of a business mindset. 'Cause most
I
people
guess,
get
yeah.
money and they want to go spend it on.
Yeah, I never really thought of it like that, to be honest with you. I never really thought of it like as a business mindset. I always thought of it as like, yo, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I want to create something. I want to build something. You know what I mean? And just being able to always think that mindset, I think, is huge for me. But I will say, what really was a 360 for me and a really eye opener is when I went overseas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was around real money, I'd say, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are real wealthy people. And, you know, when you watch those type of people, they're not walking around and, you know, super designer clothes, like how you may see some younger people around here. They're not wearing chains, and maybe they have a nice watch that's real subtle. It may cost a lot of money. Maybe they may drive a really nice car, but guarantee when you go to their houses, you're like, damn.
Yeah.
You're like, damn. And then you ask them, like, what do you do? And then you're like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's, for me, that was a whole nother eye opener. It was like, all right, I ain't gotta look like this. I ain't gotta have this. I ain't gotta do this. Like, you know what I mean? It's not about this. It's about this. Like, what are you doing and building? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That was a whole nother.
So that just clicked for you.
Yeah, that clicked for me immediately. And I always love being the guy where it's like, oh, he's just a normal guy looking.
Yeah.
I love that feeling.
Yeah, me too, man.
Just walk around just a normal guy.
Right.
Cool.
So was you like a cool kid in high school? Was you always like this?
I guess,
like,
yeah.
you know, some people change. Like, some people.
No, I changed.
They're really shy,
yeah.
and then they like really popular. How was you? Like,
I've always had a lot of friends. I still do, but I mean, it's obviously a lot more different now as you get older, right? Like in high school, you know a lot of people. I mean, obviously, I have more friends, but I still know a lot of people. But yeah, I would say I got along with a lot of people, man. But I wouldn't say I was shy. Never really been shy. I would say, as far as not being able to speak to other people, like like this was high school, Randy, I wouldn't be able to do this.
Facts, yeah.
I wouldn't be able to talk. Like, I mean, but if I knew you, like you was my boy, then maybe I'd be able to do it. Like, you know, I'll talk with you, like nonstop, joke around, blah, blah, blah. But like, if I didn't know you, like, I wouldn't really associate with you.
Yeah.
But you know, being able to learn how to talk was huge for me. Like, you know, like, and then it goes with being a coach. You have to learn how to communicate with your players, parents, all this type of stuff. Learn how to sell, like just nonstop talking. Is really, really vital, and I believe communication is one of the most important traits as a human. Because if you communicate with anybody, you can be able to get along with people, you can be able to do business with people, you can be able to anything. It goes to relationships. Like, it goes a long, long way. And then more importantly, you know how to sell. If you know how to sell, you'll be able to survive in this world, especially in America. Yeah, you know what I mean? So communication, me and communicate was huge, and that came from practicing it, and that came from just reading a lot. reading a lot, which is something I never did when I was young. Yeah. Like, I mean, shit, my GPA was terrible in high school.
Mine too, but like, I like the points that you brought up about the whole, you know, not being flashy with everything like that, and kind of keeping it to yourself. Because I feel like people that do show off and do stunt, pop smoke, end up dead. Like, you flex too much, you try to have this persona that you're godly and higher than people, it can actually hurt you.
Yeah.
So I like meeting people like that, because that's how I see myself, just like, cool, yeah, you could think I'm doing this, but you don't really know what's going on behind doors, you know what I'm saying? So how, with this social media era that we have, everything's instant gratification. Like, I got a gym today. I didn't put in the work. I didn't put in 5-10 years of hard work to get this gym. So like, how would you like kind of explain that to some kid that feels entitled now? I guess that goes back to the whole Americanized, spoiled kids and the kids that got to work out the mud to get it.
Yeah.
You deal with that?
So people don't know their value, right? Like, a lot of people see me like, oh, he's 24, you know, he's got a, you didn't see the years where I was by myself, you know, grinding. Like, you know, I mean, only my girl would see stuff like that. And I'm not trying to make it like it was a dark place that I was in, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, I worked. Don't just think I just woke up one day and decided, like, hey, I'm gonna go do this. Because if you watch me coach and you watch me train, you'd be like, nah, he's been around. You know, he's been doing it for some years. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people just don't know their value, man, and it pisses me off. It really does. Like a lot of people just think like, yeah, I deserve this.
Right.
How do you deserve that, bro? You never did anything for that. Why should you deserve more? Like, all right, let's start. Why should you deserve more than minimum wage when you haven't even started?
That's a good question.
Why do you deserve to get paid more than this guy when you haven't done anything? Like, or you've only been doing it for a year, a couple months. You got a little bit of a crowd now moving. Okay, keep going.
Exactly.
Don't just try to make
What's
a big jump.
What's that Drake quote?
What? Oh, don't get hyped for the moment and start the backpedal.
Yeah, man. Like a lot of people, that's how you mess up.
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah, I've been doing this for a month. A month? You've been blowing up for a month, and then now my prices are this and that. Like, dog, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. That's not the right way to do it, man. That's not business, man. That's just being greedy. And what I call is like, you're chasing the money. You're chasing that shit, bro. Cool. If you want to make $1 million in a month, go ahead. Or if you want to make $1 million every year for the rest of your life.
That's like temporary with, and like longevity.
Yeah, man. And it pisses me off because some people just like, it really gets me angry. Like some people just think they deserve it now and they want it. Like, don't get me wrong, be hungry for it. Be hungry for it, bro. But just understand, like, it's a long game you gotta be playing. You know,
It's a long game.
It's a long game, man. Like,
so what drives you? What's your why?
So one of the biggest reasons was why I came home and did this. One, I'd say I always like to start my family. I believe my family can build something where it's like generational, right? Because when I was over there and overseas, like especially in the Middle East, everyone got a business. Everyone's in the whole family. Everyone's doing it all. They build it all together. And when I came back home, I was like, that's what I want to do. And that was first off being that.
What age was it?
What?
Like that you saw that?
Oh, when I went over there. Yeah. Well, so when it clicked.
18 or 19?
Nah. I went over there when I was like, what, 20? When I went over there, I was 20. So I say like after the first 2 years. But when I first went out there, if you asked me about running a business, like I'd be like, no. I'm like, nah, I don't do that now. I love where I'm at right now. It's cool. I'm chilling. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I really started building. I was around one of my friends, and he kind of got me into like this entrepreneurial mindset. And then like seeing my dad like grind, I kept thinking like, damn, this shit's been around me. It's been around me for a little bit.
So would you say like, that quote, like if you're around 10 bums, you're gonna be the next bum.
Yeah.
If you're around 10 million.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying, right? So like when I was living out there, I wasn't I mean, not to say my friends are terrible people, but I wasn't. You get what I'm saying? You're outside your circle. So now you're thinking different, you're talking different, right? Which isn't bad. I'm not saying like I'm saying F those old friends.
Yeah.
Just saying, I started thinking different because I was stepped out of my circle, and I went into, I want to say a better circle, but I went into a different circle that was talking about different stuff, that were showing me different stuff, that were doing different things, and I was like, damn.
Open your mind.
Yeah, definitely open your minds up a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it made me want to be like, damn, I want that. Like, damn, I want to go to yacht. Like, I want to go do this with my family every weekend. Like, shoot, experiencing stuff like that, open your eyes. So like, definitely number one was my family, was the reason why I want to do it, because I want to build something big for my family. And me, personally, I know if I came back home and doing something with my dad and other business partners, like, this is just going to be the first venture. And then I'm already on my second one. It's the building next door. We're already moving on with that one. So it's like, I know more and more is going to start coming, especially when you're around other people, start doing good business with them, other things pop up. And it's like, hey, okay, we've already done this together. Let's go do this now.
So are you afraid of failure? Or are you, like, growing up, was you afraid of failure? And, like, now, do you just, like, embrace it more? Or are you just,
basketball player Randy, yes. When I was in high school, yes. I was afraid to mess up.
Okay.
That's what messed up my career.
Me too.
Yeah, it messes up a lot. It's coaches. It's coaches. Coaches fear you to not mess up, to be 100% perfect. Like, no, bro, I'm going to miss. Don't take me off if I missed one shot.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So, but being able to be, that's part of life. Oh, you're going to fail. I'm prepared to fail. If I fail, I fail. Moving on to the next stuff. You gotta be ready to pivot. I'm a strong believer in that. Be ready to pivot. When you start seeing things go down, pivot. Turn. What's the next thing now? And that just comes from being, I guess that's like an entrepreneurial trait, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Being able to go on to the next thing, I guess. I don't know. But that's just the way I'm not going to just sit there and be like, shit, it's failing.
You just sit there and solve. You just get
You gotta solve it.
Yeah.
Let's fix it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, failure is a scary thing. Do I think about it? No.
I like that.
Can't think about it. So you gotta just be confident in yourself and just know it's gonna work. Is it possible? Yeah. It's gonna always be there.
Yeah.
Same with everything. Like it's gonna be there, but do you want to think about it every day? Hell no. You can't. It's gonna mess up your mind. And you're gonna have the wrong mindset going every day. And you're gonna build anxiety on you for no reason.
Yeah.
You're gonna build all these pressure for no reason. Like, you know what I mean? When it's just part of it. So
Yeah.
that's what I said.
And I like that because like I feel like that's what most people do. There's this quote that I heard. When you worry, it's like going outside with an umbrella, and it's sunny outside. You're just expecting it to rain.
Yeah.
No clouds in the sky.
Right.
So like worrying is kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's how I see it, and I like that you said that because I feel like a lot of people need to hear that.
Yeah.
You know, I got anxious a lot as a kid. Like I feel like we don't relate in like every way, but in that way, like I was real like scared of messing up everything. Yeah. But just like learning from other people like yourself and just him and people I try to surround myself around, it does open your eyes. So
yeah.
now I appreciate that. I appreciate like all the knowledge you drop because these are some gems. These are some gems for real. Like people need to talk about like we're always talking about like I feel like people nowadays are talking about oh how we gonna get this girl or what's the club we going to this weekend. Like that's one of the questions we had in our other videos. Like why is it so? Why do we talk about so much of the culture that is in nowadays, like hip hop, money, fame, clout, instead of business? Like, why is it so different?
Yeah, it's just, like I said, it's just about it's about who you're around as well. What are the conversations you're having with? You know what I mean? Are they about, like you said, girls and doing that stuff all the time? Which is okay, but not all the time. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like every single one of our conversations are about business. Like,
Facts, yeah.
I'm not gonna preach that because that's you gotta live a life. Like you gotta have a balance.
Yeah.
Have some fun, man. Don't.
I think the key word is balance.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Most men like they do things for women. Like they grow up, they want the nice car for a woman. Like what you said, you wanted to help your family. So like it's just seeing the difference in the mindset. Like you want to help bring generational wealth. Most people are like, I want to do this for this girl, so I can smash her like on IG. I don't get it.
Yeah, a lot of people just do things for other people, but I've always realized too when you're doing something like to please someone else, they not so much they don't really care. Like you know, it's not really that deep. Like I remember there was a time where like I wanted to buy a house before like the age my dad did. I was so heavy on that, and then I was stopped and I was like, why? I was like, why am I like pushing myself to like this? Like that's when I had to like be like, it's not that serious. Like I don't need to prove my dad anything. He knows, my goals and what I want to do. So like being able to like understand that made me start to think like, damn, if I don't got to prove nothing to my dad, you know what I'm saying? What do I got to prove to this guy or this guy? Or,
say it again.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta really understand that. You know, and it's a mindset thing, dog.
So you started doing it for you.
Like, yeah, of course. But at the same time, like I wouldn't just say selfishly, just for me, for my family as well. Like I think a lot about my kids, and they're not even here yet. You know.
That's cool. That's deep.
That's just the way I like to think about it as well. Because I don't want to. Like I can start a family tomorrow, right? But I don't want to because I want to make sure I get the things that I want to do in my life done and be able to set things up for them. I'm a firm believer in that. And my dad always preached that to me. You know, because he had me at a young age, and he had to really grind, really grind, you know what I mean? So he definitely didn't want me to go through that. He wanted me to, have fun, build stuff, grow, work hard, and have fun, man, And then when you get to that time where you're ready to do it, then do it. Which is fine with everybody, but it's just about your mindset, man, and what you want to do in your goals, dog. You know what I mean? I don't like to listen to what other people. Like everyone's always different stuff, right? Like you hear one guy says you need to be waking up at 5 a.m. every single day and doing all this stuff and blah blah blah. Then you hear one guy's like, yo, just wake up, get some good sleep, wake up, grind, and do it. Not necessarily you don't gotta do it all your way. There may be some tricks that you take from other people, but do what makes you feel comfortable that you can get done on a daily basis. And I think that's huge because a lot of people try to. Like follow this guy. Yeah. Like you guys know Gary Vee?
Yeah, I love Gary Vee.
I love Gary Vee, right? But if you take 100% what he's saying, it's gonna kill you. Now, it may work for you. It doesn't work for everybody. And I think that's where some people, like I said, you can't take all of it because it works for him. Yeah. It doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. So I take his pieces. Yeah, of course. Like some of the stuff he says is true. It's very true. But
take it with a grain of salt.
yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Don't go too crazy on stuff like that because it may not work for you, which is fine. Be okay with that. But yeah, man, I think the biggest thing too, a lot of people got to realize too, man, is like if you're gonna be doing something, man, you gotta be teaching yourself daily.
Right.
You know, like I didn't finish college, so like, but I could have easily sat down and just been like, yo, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna chill. I taught myself a lot. Read, asked questions, did stuff. You know, reached out to a lot of my mentors, daily, learning from them. Stuff you gotta do, unless your goal is to not be at a certain level or do certain things. I believe
To be mediocre.
Yeah, I wouldn't say mediocre, man. I'm not using that word. Like,
a lot of people just they just shoot for the bare minimum.
But
yeah,
they just want that. That's what he's going. That's what he's going back to.
Yeah.
But he still wants to be great though, in a sense. Like he's doing it for his family. Like he's trying to, like he said, he wants to improve every day. Some people just do it and just want to be at the bottom. When I mean at the bottom, I mean like they know they can give more effort, but they give you 60%, so they're giving it 110%. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I'm the same exact way, and I'm grateful to be around people that I think like doing business with people that want the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't want to be bare minimum with it. Like,
yeah. You know, so if you're gonna do something, like give it your all. Like
for
give
sure.
effort. Like effort is effort. You know what I'm saying?
It's a little bit of a pride thing too.
Yeah.
You get that from when you play sports, dog.
Yeah.
Like you go out there and compete. I'm not like a one-on-one situation. I'm not going out there in front of everybody and just get 50%. And just get embarrassed.
Yeah,
give 100.
Yeah.
You know, 110%, dog. And just go out there and grind. Yeah. And which I think sports has a lot to do with my mindset and my discipline and what I do. You know what I mean? Sports is huge. It's huge for a lot of kids. If you're taught the right way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like there's some coaches out there teaching some bad stuff, man. I can go on for days. I love talking about stuff like this. Mm-hmm. It's fun, man. Yeah, but you gotta just stay the course, man. Just know what you want and just go after it. And just make sure you do it the right way. Don't go too crazy what other people say to do. It's always a way to find it out. Yeah, man.
And cut. That was perfect. You ended it perfect.
I know he was trying to end it.
I don't know. I was like, shit.
No,
Is
that's
another question?
Cause like we could like honestly keep talking about it, but it'll just keep getting deeper. But like the main topics we covered, like that was good. I loved everything about that, man.
Yeah.
That's so huge for me, and like that's the people I want to surround myself around, and that's the type of people I'm trying to create in this community. And I know it's possible.
For sure, man.
No, that's just really like inspiring to hear that there's other people that are like-minded. Because you know, if you just stay in this community, that's all you're gonna hear.
Yeah.
But if you expand out, which is something I've been practicing this year, it's like the world is really like you could have anything you want in this world. And if you put the
I didn't even get to the part that's the second part was like my community. That's why I came back.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Like I always be telling my 8th grade team like, dog, like who comes from Seminole County? Nobody. I think my friend Anthony Simons is probably the only person that came from Seminole County, but he went to Orange County schools. And Seminole County was bad.
He was a bucket.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so what I'm trying to say is like, for me coming back home, I was like, yo, I want to bring some players from here, man. And that's why I went off on them, man. I was like, yo, y'all practicing like this. This is why Seminole County produces players like this. Because look how y'all practice. No one's got pride. No one's tough. No one wants to go 100%. You know what I'm saying? So when Orange County kids come over here, they're like, yo, we about to kill these boys. Mm-hmm. You know? How am I'm the only player on my whole entire high school team that went to college for basketball. That's bad. It's bad. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the type of stuff I want to build in the community. Mm-hmm. You know, outside of my family and stuff, but building stuff like that for the community is huge, dog.
No, I really like what you're doing though, man. This is awesome. And it's really inspiring for me. And for him, he's the one who brought me on. Cause like I seen you hooping on him last time. A little bit. It was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
I was fasting, bro.
Yeah, you was
playing
horrible.
fasting.
But
are you a Muslim?
Yeah.
Oh, salam alaikum.
Islam, bro.
Jeez, I didn't know you was Muslim.
Yeah.
Dang, that's dope.
Yeah, I'll be playing.
Both Ramadan rap.
Yeah. So I'll be great.
you know Muslim too?
I grew up. I didn't grow up, but I was living in a Muslim country. I know all about the culture and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, last 5 years. Yeah, that's crazy. Honestly, bro, when you go out of America, living over there, they like laugh at Americans because like it's like, bro, you guys. First of all, we're allowed to cuss out our president.
Yeah.
The guy that represents our country, the face of our country, right? No matter who it is, we voted as a country. We voted for him, so we're allowed to do that. I personally think that looks terrible. It's like if you went to a game and you saw one of your players, all right, so you're a coach, go to a game, one of your players cusses you out in front of the whole crowd. They're allowed to do that. Do you accept that? Hell no.
Hell no.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's like, I don't know. I think that's just embarrassing. Like, if you saw that, I'll be like, damn, bro. What type of coaching system they got going on there? Like, you know? And it's like, just little things like that. When people see like that out of the country, like, damn. Now, having the freedom of speech is amazing. I don't back that at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, damn, bro. Like, we allowed to go up to our president, cuss him out, and then that goes on social media, and that goes in, and that just look like it just looks bad, bro.
Yeah.
You know, we really look bad outside of America. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looks a little crazy, but yeah, especially after all this stuff going on, shit, people are scared to come over here, dog.
Yeah.
But people are always gonna come because it's America. Everyone wants to know what's America like. Yeah. But when you go to America, you're like, damn, bro, it's dirty out here, dog.
You think like the American dream is overhyped?
No. The American dream, I still believe this is the only country you can come to with nothing in your pocket and make something happen.
Yeah.
I mean, my family is one of them. But what I'm saying is, like, you can't do that nowhere else. You can't go to another country and just pop up there and be like, hey, here to start a business. Nah, bro. You need a visa, you need a permit, you need resident cards, you need all, you know what I'm saying? You can't just walk up in there and be like, yeah. Now here, well, different. Now, will it be legal? Probably not. But some people make work and then become legalized and then make it. You know what I'm saying? Like Elon Musk, bro. You know he's not from, you guys know where he's from?
Nah, I don't know.
From South Africa.
Wow, that's crazy.
South Africa, bro.
Because they have that hustlers mentality over there. You gotta get it out the mud.
Yeah, I read a whole book on him. He's dope. Yeah. He's different, bro.
I like that.
What was the book?
It's Elon Musk.
So it's called Elon Musk?
Yeah, his book on him. It's dope. His mindset is a little...
Yeah, I'm sure he's
he
a little...
believes in like aliens and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I believe in aliens.
You tripping?
I believe, bro. So you think we the only ones?
I mean, it depends.
No. I feel like there's more people.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's more people, but not no green freaking...
Alright, it don't make me look like that, but there's definitely people that don't look like us.
I feel like I could do anything, but just talking to y'all, I feel like I could achieve anything.
No, man, it's just about starting, dog. A lot of people say they want to do it, but they don't start. Like, will they start for a week? Start for a month? Start for a year? Bro, you gotta be consistent. I believe in America, in order to fail, we were just talking about this last night. In order to fail in America, dog, you gotta be really bad. I think you have to be very, very, very bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a big market we got.
Yeah.
Huge.
Very bad. What do you mean by very bad?
Like, if you were to start a coaching thing tomorrow, right? And I'm telling you this as, you could be my first competition tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? What I mean by that is, like, you can start a training institute tomorrow. You get clients. Do it for a month free. If they like half of what your work, charge a good rate, you got a nice place, you're a good guy, they'll come. People come, bro. Fits their schedule.
That's what I'm learning at the Y, bro. They're coming to me now. I got them training outside. So it's really like...
So that's what I'm, bro.
It's character. Would you say it's character or...
Yeah.
Or is it the training?
Oh, the training?
Like when you get kids, is it the training, the character, or is it like the person?
I would say first is the environment. Like, you know, when your kid walks in and you start talking with them, how do they feel? So character, yeah, but also like, how do they feel when they're in the gym? You know, do they feel scared? Do they feel confident? Do they feel sad? Like, are they happy to be in there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's huge for me.
The deeper layers, that's what I'm,
Yeah, that's huge for me. Yeah, it's huge for me, like, because, you know, I was always excited to go to the gym because of the environment that was there. So when you build that same exact thing, kids are just going to be like, yo, I want to come. It's fun. I'm happy here. Like, you know, only an hour out of my day where I'm just having fun, working hard. Like, that's what I try to build with my kids. And it's not going to be like that every day, you know, but the more you can do it, the better. So, yeah, man, just, like, in America, man, there's so many things you can start up, man. Like, people have crazy businesses, bro. Like, this is like a normal business. People have like do beehives and like do all these, and they're making a killing. Like, be surprised, dog. Be surprised. So people like my dad, he was scared. He was very scared to like take a risk and go get his own shop. Bro, now he's chilling. I mean, not chilling, he's quite his ass. But what I'm saying is like he grew it really quickly. Like he was like, damn, I wasn't expecting that, because what happened was, he's not in his garage anymore. It's not word of mouth. Now he's out there. And the whole entire...
You gotta, like, get in the field. You have to really just put yourself in the water and just swim.
Dude, that's just... As long as you're managing your risk, man, go for it. what I mean by manage your risk, don't go out there and be like, give yourself a huge overhead to start off with.
Yeah.
Make sure it's right. Make sure it's like, okay, make sure I can afford to lose it. Because if I go out there and I start this, I want to make sure like, hey, let's go for it. I can afford to lose this. Let's try it out. We'll start small. Let's see how it goes. Build from there. A lot of people are scared to build from scratch. Can't be doing that. When I came here, I gave, I think it was 2 weeks free training.
Oh, really?
Or a week free training. Yeah, no. But shit, packed it out.
Yeah.
Everyone loved it. Saw, met me, loved it, stood. So it's like you gotta be willing to take hits like that. I don't think people aren't confident in themselves to do that.
Yeah.
Or they're just thinking about what? Money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, and it shows a lot to people when you're willing to give things like that out to them. And just take care of your clients once you get them.
Yeah. Value. That's
Value,
something
man.
I'm learning about.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like they're paying for a service. Give them more than what they're paying for.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that. That's the way I carry my training sessions and just my business aspect. But yeah, man, I mean, that's stuff like, and that's a given for anything you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to do it the right way. But yeah, man.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. Well, where can the people find you at? Like, are they trying to come to some basketball training?
Yeah, so we're located in Longwood. Well, I would say the middle of Longwood and Lake Mary, 805 Waterway Place, exact address. But you can find us on social media. Right now, it's called HSAHOOPS. And on Facebook as well, same exact thing. Our website is hsahoops.com as well. But we'll be transitioning soon to Seminole Hoops. Yeah, so look out for that. That's gonna be cool when we launch that next one as well.
Yeah, we're gonna put that all in the description, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you guys. I like what you guys are doing, man. This is dope.
Yeah,
this is dope.
sure,
This is
man.
dope.
Hey,
Actually, gotta take this.
take notes. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check his stuff out. We'll catch up with y'all soon.
Yes, sir, man.